Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome. I'm Darshit, and on behalf of Godrej Material Handling, I welcome you all for our next and 26th webinar from our Storage and Handling Knowledge series, titled as Multipurpose Attachments on Material Handling Equipment. Before I move and set a context and introduce our eminent speaker to you all, uh, I would like to revisit the core purpose of why we are doing this and how this all started. The core purpose of running this knowledge series is that is built specifically for the intralogistics domain is to give back to the society and enthusiasts who are in search of knowledge, okay, from the vast knowledge that we carry since 6 decades now. Okay. And I'm happy to express time and again the encouragement that we are getting and has been always encouraging for us for the overwhelming response. So the topic, coming to the topic, so far in the webinars we have had in 2 past years, we have covered every topic in a generalized or basic way, like basics of concept of material handling equipment, controllers, either it be battery handling systems or leasing options, the transition of warehouses, how they have started from go down to the grade A warehouses, and many more of such topic. But this is the first time we are touching something niche and important for day-to-day material handling activities. Attachments on material handling equipments. Attachments are something wherein you need, in case you need four forklifts, to handle, to hold and lift four different products, but instead you would need only one material handling equipment or a forklift with four attachments. So this is something that would make your life easy. These are something that we cannot imagine our lives, and when it comes to day-to-day material handling, and we are going to have a close understanding of these attachments from our eminent subject matter expert, Mrs. Chiranjeev Singh, who is working in the capacity of Assistant Manager Sales with Cascade India Material Handling Private Limited. In his sizable career of almost a decade, he was instrumental in developing new products in initial phase of his career, and now a solution provider to material handling needs across the country. So before I move on, I would request everyone to put in their questions in the chat box on the right hand side. Okay, we shall try to answer them straight away or towards the end of the session. Please do not forget to write your name in the box above the question Q&A section. That will help us to get back to you after the webinar in case we miss your question. With that, I request Mr. Chiranjeev Singh to take over and wish everyone has a insightful session. Thank you. Over to you,
Hi,
Mr. Chiranjeev.
hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Darshit, for the warm introduction. As Darshit has given you my past experience and intro about it, I would not waste any more time, and I would start with the first slide and teach you as to what basic attachments are and what is the purpose of installing an attachment, having an attachment on your material handling equipment. So basically, what is a forklift attachment? As you can see that traditionally forklift trucks are used to offload goods supplied on pallets, going into storage, and then out for shipping or loading. But they have so much more potential. Just by adding attachments, you can dramatically improve the capability of your forklift by turning it into a multi-purpose handling tool. Attachments allow your forklift to become more efficient and versatile with handling unique material handling products. This is basically an overview as to what is a forklift attachment. At the top right-hand side, you can see that there is a standard forklift with forks in it. So this thing is something which we have been traditionally supplying into the market for quite some time. In the bottom right-hand corner, you are able to see some attachments. So which basically are special equipments, you can say, designed for your material handling needs. As we go further, we'll get more into the detail of how the attachments are and how basically we select them. Why attachments are so important? First of all, productivity, damage reduction, and safety. These are the three important criteria as to why attachments are getting so popular nowadays. Productivity, any company, any owner of a company is the utmost. Damage reduction is where you save cost and help in giving a quality product. Safety, it is where the human life and product handling is concerned. So that is the utmost important part. These are the industries which basically we have served. In this, as you can see, that mostly all the sectors we have touched, including automotive, beverage, chemical, pulp and paper, textile, forging, white goods, recycling, then construction industries as well. So this is where most of the attachments we have sold, and the demand is slowly and steadily increasing day by day. What are the forklift truck attachments which we can offer for our applications? As you can see, it starts with side shifter, fork positioner, rotators, push pulls, multiple load handlers, paper roll clamps, bale clamps for handling of bales, scrap bales, jute bales, cotton bales, forging clamps, roller forks and reach forks. These are new products which have been added in our catalog. Then wave forks, basically used for weighing of the pallets. Then brick block clamp, used for picking unitized load of pavers, blocks, multi-purpose clamps. These are basically used in tobacco industry. Then drum clamps, you can handle metallic drums with this. You can handle HDPE drums. Then carton clamps, they are used in white good industries. Layer picker coils, they are you can basically use them in Coca-Cola, Hindustan liver beverages. It is basically layer picker, and coil boom is a different word. Coil boom is basically used for lifting of carpet rolls. Then tire handlers, these are special equipments for used for handling of tires, road tires, OTR tires, for tires for dumpers, heavy duty trucks, 100-ton dumpers, 150-ton dumpers, all special equipped attachments. And then finally, wine barrel handlers. Okay, and these are the accessories which we are providing with the clamps. So one of that is hose reels, clamp force tester, three-way pressure regulator, pressure gauge, magnetic fork covers, TFCs, which is touch force control, tilt control. You can control the tilting of your mast, rotational control. The paper roll clamps basically rotate 360 degrees. So you can control the rotation if you want 100 degrees, 120 degrees, everything can be done. Now, basically, what are the mandatory requirements for fixing of attachments on any forklift truck? Now, these are the four important things, basically, which we ask our customers and our OEM partners before suggestion of any clamp. The first one is mounting class of the forklift, and attachment should be the same. Second one, extra hydraulic functions required for attachment functioning. Third one, hydraulic routing from forklift control valve to the attachment. And the last, requirement of pressure regulator and pressure gauge. So we'll get into detail about this one by one. So this is basically what we call as the mounting class or the carriage standards. This is ITA truck carriage standards, industrial truck, automation truck carriage standards. So class 2, class 3, class 4, and class 5. So these are the 4 classes of trucks, basically based on the mountings. For example, 1.5 ton, 2 ton, 2.5 ton truck basically comes under class 2. Then under class 3, 3 ton, 3.5 ton, 4 ton forklifts. Under class 4, 5 ton, 6 ton, 8 ton. Class 5 is 10 ton, 12 ton, and 15 ton forklifts. Now, what important parameter we need to see is that the height, which is the dimension B and dimension H3. Now, the B dimension is basically what we call as 16 inches, 20 inches, 25 inches, and 28.6 inches. These are the height of the carriage, which is very important for any OEM manufacturer to decide which carriage of which standard or which class of carriage they are having. And for example, as I said, 2 ton is for class 2A, class 3, 3 ton for 3 ton forklift, class 4, 5 ton, and up to 8 ton, and class 5, 10 ton to 15 ton. So this is basically what are the extra auxiliary functions. As you can see, there are 4 levers at the bottom in which we basically ask the customer how many levers or spool are there in your existing or new forklift. So the first and the second lever are the common levers which are provided or known as standard tilt and hoist levers. Whereas the third lever and the fourth lever are basically auxiliary functions. So the third one is used for clamping for any attachment. In this case, if we go in for a bail clamp, and the fourth one is the rotation. So the rotation basically is a fourth auxiliary function which we need in your existing control valve. And in case if a customer wants to add a third auxiliary function, that can be done with the help of a solenoid valve, which is operated by a switch. Yeah, so here we come to that how many additional hydraulic routing are present for the extra hydraulic functions in your existing forklifts. So for example, you can see in the left hand side that there are 2 hose reels. Now these hose reels basically are mounted externally on the outside of the mast, one on the left hand side and the other on the right hand side. These hose reels basically transmit oil from the control valve to the forklift carriage and from the carriage to the attachment. And on the right hand side, you can see that it's a hose take-up unit in which that there are 2 pair of hoses which are routed over the pulleys up to the carriage. The best thing about it is that it is located within the mast section. So these are the 2 hydraulic connections or the routings which are needed for any attachment functioning. At the bottom, you can see that there is one opening hose and one clamping hose on the right hand side. And on the left hand side, you can see that there is a side shifting hose. So basically these hoses go up to the valve block mounted on the attachment, which help the attachment function as per your desired requirement. Basic requirements for selection of attachments. So what we basically ask our customers is what is your load or what is the application to be handled. So as you can see that the first one is that there are reels stacked one above the other. So we basically call them as paper rolls. These rolls, in case of a traditional forklift, are very difficult to stack vertically. We at Cascade have a clamp named as paper roll clamp, which basically helps you to grip these rolls single roll at a time and stack it one on top of the other, which in turn helps you save space and time. The second one is a bale clamp. As you can see that these are recycled bales. You have jute bales, you have cotton bales. All types of bales can be handled using a bale clamp. The third one is a carton box. So here basically white goods. Now customers are very peculiar in white good industry that the product should not be damaged. So it is very important to understand what type of product they're handling, which side is the clamping side, what is the weight of unit load, how many refrigerators are they going to pick. These are the basic things which we need to ask and understand from the customer before suggesting any clamp. And the last one is basically a push-pull attachment, which handles unitized load. So you can see that there are small boxes aligned together and they are stretch wrapped. So we need to ask the customer what is the end product, how they're going to ship it, what are the products which they're handling in and out. So based on that, we need to design the clamp and give them the suitable option. Here we are onto the side shifters. Now, as we all know that side shifter is one of the basic requirements nowadays being supplied. As you can see that the side shifter helps the carriage to move sideways, either on the left hand side or on the right hand side without repositioning the truck. So the truck stays there, only the carriage slides towards the left or the right, which in turn saves time of the driver. What we call is shifting of load from side to side for reduced handling time. Advantages: greater visibility window, fast and easy mounting, because what we provide is hook-on side shifters plus integral as well. But mostly what we are selling are hook-on type side shifters, which can be very easily mounted on your existing lift trucks. We can give you any capacity and what type of speed you want, operational speed, we can set that. It improves warehouse space utilization. The application: unloading, loading of containers in warehouses, distribution centers. The models for 2-ton and 3-ton forklifts are basically 55F and 65F. So these are the two models basically for the 2-ton and the 3-ton forklifts which we are selling. And the application checkpoints, right? So before suggestion of any side shifter, we usually ask our customers what is the truck capacity, what is the mounting class, and what is your carriage width. Because as I said that these are hook-on type side shifters. So your carriage width is of utmost importance to us. Now we come to fork positioners. Basically, fork positioners is something similar to side shifters. They basically allow the truck operators to move the forks quickly and accurately to fit different pallet sizes without leaving their seats. So in this, if you go for a standard carriage, you would see that you would need to manually adjust the forks. Whereas in case of a fork positioner, the forks are adjusted hydraulically with the help of a third lever. So the operator can easily pull the lever and adjust the forks as per his requirement. The advantage: increases productivity, reduces damage, quick and easy installation. Now, fork positioners, I would want to add one thing, that cascade side shifters come with built-in holes for the provision of fork positioners. So if there is any customer of Cascade who's using a side shifter and he wants to convert that into a fork positioner, he does not need to change the carriage. He can simply mount the fork positioner on his existing carriage. The application recommended for trucks in warehousing, distribution, and manufacturing applications. Again, you can see that there are two models which we are offering, 55F, 65F. So 55F is up to 2.5 ton forklift. 65F is basically for 3 ton, 3.5 ton forklift. And the pocket width can be up to 127 mm. So the adjustment is very easily possible. This is what we were talking in the previous slide about paper roll clamps. So as you can see that Cascade offers a wide range of paper roll clamps along with damage reduction options to handle paper rolls safely and effectively. We have a solution for all types of papers, that is graph paper, newsprint, tissue paper, etc. So we have basically, if I would like to tell you that even for softer paper, like for tissue rolls, for newsprint, there are special designed clamps for handling in which the change is in the pads. The length of the pad, the size of the pad changes so that the pressure is applied equally on the rolls in case of a tissue roll. Now the industries, I would like to tell you that it is paper mills, printing press, packaging industries, warehouses. Fast selling PRC models. 13H RCF A003 and B003. These are the two attachments, you can say, or you can say that these are the two mounting classes which we offer in 13H. The dia handling is from 370 to 1300 mm with lifting capacity of 1300 kgs. And the second one is 24H RAP B008. In this case, the roll dia is basically from 200 to 1600 mm. The opening range is there of the clamp, and you can handle rolls up to 1600 mm dia with a lifting capacity of 1950 kgs. These two clamps are our highest selling clamps in India. The checkpoints. Paper roll clamps have some critical checkpoints which we need to consider. In case of a truck, what is the truck capacity, whether it is a 2-ton truck, a 3-ton truck, a 5-ton, or an 8-ton or a 10-ton truck. Mounting class. Now, what type of, as it is related with the truck capacity, as in if it is a 2-ton forklift, what is the mounting class of it? It would be 2A. If it is a 3-ton forklift, it would be 3A, and so on and so forth. So hydraulic connections, as we saw in the previous slides, whether they are having any hydraulic external connections coming up to the carriage or a hose take-up connection up to the carriage. What are the roll specifications? What is the roll diameter, minimum and maximum? What is the roll height? What is the roll weight? And type of roll, craft, tissue, newsprint, bond, magazine. On the left-hand side, you can see that this is a 13H clamp, which is basically designed for handling up to 1300 mm opening range or 1300 mm roll dia. And lifting capacity is also 1300 kgs. Bail clamp. Now, cascade bale clamps can efficiently and economically handle any type of baled product. Comes with two functions, that is clamping and side shifting. Side shifting is standard, but rotation can also be offered. So any type of bale, scrap bale, jute bale, pulp bale, we can handle it with the help of a bale clamp. The industries. Sorry. Yeah, so as you can see, the type of bale products, cotton, flax, wool, synthetic textile, fabric, recycled clothing, etc. These are the two models which we are selling in India. The fast selling bale clamp models, 35D PCS, 50D PCS. It has a capacity of 1900 kgs for 35D and 2700 kgs for 50D. Rotators. Now, rotators give your driver the ability to quickly dump or invert a load and then immediately return the forks to the pickup position in one continuous motion. They can rotate completely in 360 degrees. Cascades, gear drive box, and rugged design and ring gear design are proven to provide superior durability. Large visibility window gives the driver an excellent view of the fork tips. Applications used in food processing and manufacturing industries. We also have special rotators for emptying of molten metal into furnaces. Yes, these rotators can be mounted on 2 ton, 3 ton, 5 ton, 10 ton, whichever forklift you want. The best part about it is that it needs a single hydraulic function and it can invert your load completely by rotating 360 degrees. So if you want to empty any box or any scrap material, you can very easily rotate it and empty it. Push-pull. Now, what are the features of a push-pull attachment? Now, push-pull allows you to ship, receive, and warehouse unit loads on inexpensive slip sheets rather than pallets. There are the push-pull which we are usually recommending is basically a quick fork mount push-pull. These are ideal for applications requiring quick and convenient removal and installation of a push-pull attachment. So basically a quick fork mount push-pull, you can easily plug in and plug out within minutes. The reason behind this is that there are some customers who basically get containers only for half a day. So for example, they want to load only 3 containers or 4 containers. So why should you mount the push-pull permanently on your forklift? In that case, we have designed a quick fork mount push-pull in which there is a quick release coupling which disconnects the entire attachment in minutes, and you can use the bottom forks to lift your pallets and do your day-to-day work. Applications. Bagged products such as seed, agricultural products, cement, rice, cased food, electronics, cosmetics, and bottled beverages. So these products can be handled using push-pull. Small carton boxes, stretch wrapped in a unitized load, can also be handled using a push-pull. Carton clamp. Now, carton clamp, as I said previously, is used in white goods industry. Customers in white goods industry are very peculiar about this. So what we do is that we design clamps all customized as per the height, width, and the length of the product. No single clamp can work for 2 customers. So what we offer is custom opening ranges and frame widths. Thin arm profile for manipulating tight loads between stacks. Rugged design for optimal strength, durability, and performance. Designed for convenience and performance. Applications, as I mentioned, they're used for handling boxes containing television sets, white goods such as refrigerators, washing machines, LCDs, etc. Right. So this is basically some new product range which Cascade is developing, which are known as Cascade Electrics. These are all electrically operated attachments. They do not have any hydraulic intervention. All electric solutions are available for as many attachment models as you need. Electric attachments provide revolutionary energy efficiency, which means extended battery life and reduced downtime. The all-electric actuation eliminates the need for hydraulic components and the potential for a leaking hydraulic hose or fitting. So this is something which is the future. And as slowly people will move more towards electric, we at Cascade are already developing these solutions and we are in the launching phase of these attachments. I would like to just give you a bit more in detail. As you can see on the left hand side, there is this side shifter. On this, the second one from the left is basically a fork positioner as well as an integral side shifter. Then the third one is a carton clamp, and the fourth one is a multiple load handler. AGV solutions. So basically, Cascade has been supplying AGV related attachments as well. In Europe, we have a vast business of AGV related attachments, or you can call as AGV solutions. So Cascade's AGV solutions improve efficiency and productivity across the supply chain. From all electric solutions like the energy efficient electric multiple load handler that handles multiple loads at the same time, to hydraulic attachments like a paper roll clamps that handle large heavy duty tissue rolls. Cascade works closely with you to design solutions that are fully integrated with the AGV and provide high quality performance. In case of any AGV related inquiry or anything, you can obviously get in touch. These are the industries where we have already supplied these AGV equipments: food and beverage, paper and tissue, warehousing and logistics. And the bottom right hand corner, you can see it is a trilateral head. So this basically is a kind of an attachment in which your carriage in the front, you can say, swings 90 degrees on the right or on the left based on your aisle width and your space, warehousing space. So it's a very good solution developed, and we are promoting this in India as well. Lift tech. So there's a Cascade Cascade has globally taken over Lift Tech. It's an Italian-based company, and we are basically working very closely with them in developing special masts, carriages, integral side shifters, fork positioners, scissor and reach mechanisms for a wide variety of lift trucks and material handling applications. So these include 2, 3, 4 and 5 stage masts as well for counterbalance lift trucks. Reach and man-up masts used on trucks in narrow aisle applications are designed to optimize truck capacity and are offered in a wide spectrum of lift heights. So as you can see that there are side shifters, there are non-standard masts, carriages, which we can design with the help of Lift Tech technologies, and we can provide you a complete solution altogether. Now, this is one of the new products known as Cascade QE products, roller forks. Now, these roller forks are basically a substitute for push-pull attachment, but can be used only for a single level stacking. These forks are basically mechanical forks. They can be uh, fitted directly on a standard lift truck carriage, making them lighter and more cost-effective option than push-pulls for certain application. Sorry. It has an internal rolling mechanism to quickly load and unload pallets, slip sheets, and more. No hydraulic connections are needed, and very fast installation and removal is possible. It can be used for single level stacking only. So the industries used for food, chemical, pharmaceutical, beverages, consumer good. Products in boxes, cartons, packed goods, FIBCs can be transported using roller forks. So this roller forks, we have been selling them for the past 2.5, 3 years in India, and we have got a lot of attention of customers who basically do not want to go in for a push-pull attachment in case of a single stack. So these roller forks have two layers of rollers in which the upper roller and the bottom rollers work synchronously to ensure that the load is handled without any issue and is unloaded into the container. There is a video link to it. I will surely share that with you later. Here you can see that the industries where we have supplied these roller forks are jumbo bags, beverages, and then shrink wrapped corrugated boxes. Reach forks. Now this is another product of GUI in which there are warehouses in which double deep stacking is mostly being done. Now reach forks eliminate the use of scissor type, you can say, carriages. So in this, the important part is that your usage of warehouse space can be improved by taking advantage of double deep racking and utilizing of reach forks. Now these forks can extend up to a length of 2.4, 2.5 meters, and the closed length of these reach forks is can be 1300 mm to 1400 mm based on your aisle width and your requirement. Then pallet stops can be provided so that it prevents the outer forks from protruding past the pallet entry. Again, it can handle different pallets from either the long or short side of the pallet. Applications mainly used in full-fledged warehouses where there is space constraint. Fine. So this was basically a introduction and explanation of how the attachments are and what type of attachments we can offer for the industries based on the type of load to be handled. These are obviously the contacts. It's me, Chiranjeev, and Mr. Ramesh Gaikwad as well. And from the service team, it is Mr. Vaibhav and Pradeep Irambole. Fine. So are there any questions, any doubts, anything? Please feel free to get in touch with us, please.
Yes, Chiranjeevi, thank you for the insightful session that we have had. And yes, obviously there are questions. So one of the questions is what additional hydraulic changes are required to fit these attachments that you have explained? Okay, can they be retrofitted?
See, the hydraulic changes basically depend on the type of attachment you are selecting. For example, I would say if you're going for a paper roll clamp, so you would need a 4-spool control valve. A standard forklift comes with a 2-spool control valve, so you need to modify that to a 4-spool control valve. And the hose reels or you can say, hose take-up unit you can provide so that the hydraulic connections are provided to the attachments. And yes, it can be retrofitted provided all these things are supplied from the factory by the OEMs and the end customer requirements are completely understood. So then you can retrofit it very easily.
Okay. So following this question, so is there any constraint in terms of hydraulic tank size or tank pressure, hydraulic pressure
Yes, in
while
terms of
doing this?
hydraulic pressure, you need to maintain a pressure of 150 to 160 bar. That is the working pressure for the attachments. Tank size, no worries on that. Only the pressure needs to be adjusted at the time of installing the attachment.
Okay. Okay. So as you explained the electric attachments, okay.
Right.
So the question is from where do they draw power from? From is it from the forklift battery or do we have
Absolutely.
additional battery? Asa,
Absolutely.
if yes, will it mean this earlier battery discharge as compared to forklift with hydraulic attachments?
I wouldn't say that it would, discharge the battery fast, but we have developed an energy efficient solution, which obviously I would love to explain you, but that would be in some other session. I would do it because we understand that once it draws the power from the battery, the power consumption is more. But for sure, if you're using a forklift without, you can say, the attachment for 6 hours or 8 hours, with the help of these electric attachments, you can expect a downtime of 2 hours to 2.5 hours. So there is not much difference in that. Plus, we have been developing this, so the energy efficient solutions are on their way, and we want to make this a success.
Okay, so the strength-wise, how rugged these electric attachments are as compared to hydraulic powered one?
I would say electric attachments are based on a similar design. The only thing is that there are actuators, a lot of electrical components involved, pneumatic cylinders. So it's a rugged and a proven design. So in terms of hydraulics, I would say that hydraulic works on a completely different concept compared to pneumatic cylinders. So I would say in the long run, for sure, electric attachments are sturdy, rugged. There is no downtime for it at all. Only thing is that you need to operate it within closed environment, and you should avoid exposure to, driving it outside or outside your warehouse. That is the only constraint for these attachments.
Okay, so does it mean that these attachments could not be used in cold storages?
For
Cold
cold
storage application only?
storage, you can use it, but I would like to just get in touch with my team for that. If we have any solution particularly for cold storage or not as of yet.
Okay.
I will get back to you on that regarding the cold storage application.
And with regards to push-pull operation, okay, how fast it is as compared to the palletized one, as you have mentioned, highlighted the point.
Yes. See, I would say push-pull attachment, the concept of selling push-pull attachment is basically where people do not want to use pallets. They want to use slip sheets. So in push-pull attachment, the process of loading and unloading is fast, no doubt, but again, it depends on the practice of the end user, the forklift operator, as to how fast has he adjusted to it. Because traditionally, people have been using forks blindly, and they are very well versed with it. Whereas for push-pull attachment, you need to have some kind of training before operating those attachments. So once they are well versed with it, they can obviously reduce their time of loading and unloading.
Okay. So there's one more question. I mean, the questions are keep on coming. Which
Please.
attachment can be used for handling corrugated packaging material using reach trap?
Corrugated, sorry, can you repeat again?
I'll repeat it. Which attachment can be used for handling corrugated packaging material using reach truck. The packaging material which are corrugated. So the question of Abhijit is that what attachment should we use to handle them?
See,
With
in
the help of reach truck,
corrugated,
when it comes to
right. See, I would say in reach trucks, first of all, the handling of a reach truck is basically for places where there is a narrow aisle widths, right? So mostly forks are used for handling of load on the pallets. In case of a corrugated box, obviously it will be stored on a pallet, and reach trucks will be working inside the aisle width and putting it on the storage racks. So I would suggest that you use pallets only, you use standard forks for lifting and lowering and keeping it on your racks, because reach trucks are particularly having those type of applications.
and
I wouldn't suggest to handle any attachment or any specific, I would say, for these corrugated boxes, putting an attachment on a reach truck.
okay. And apparently we have seen that the jumbo bags have been, means, they use forks to lift jumbo bags. Okay. So
Right.
do we have any special attachment for it, or it is, means, considered as the best practice lifting with fork?
Uh, yes, this is a very good question. Even in India, we have seen that jumbo bags are basically lifted with the help of an inverted fork. There is a pair of fork which is inverted, and they put it in the slot and then they lift it. So uh, we particularly have an attachment named as roller forks. The only constraint in that is that it requires the floor to be smooth. The floor should not be rough, because roller forks are completely a mechanical attachment. So they need the flooring to be either epoxy or concrete. It should be flat. So you can directly lift the load from the ground and then put it inside the container or wherever you want to stack it.
So when it comes to replacing an application of replacing pantograph in double deep
Right.
application. So will there be any duration in reach forks
Uh,
compared to pantograph time?
I'll tell you. See, reach forks are basically improved version in which pantograph is completely eliminated. Why? I'll tell you. Pantograph have a lot of moving parts in it. So there are a lot of parts in which it requires timely maintenance, and plus there is a lot of duration in pantograph. Whereas in reach forks, your deflection is less in extended position. For example, if you want to extend up to 2.2 meters, 2.4 meters, the deflection is lesser. Then secondly, you get a better lifting capacity in case of reach forks. So I would say that nowadays customers are asking us to provide reach forks in place of pantograph because of increased capacity, lesser maintenance, easy availability of parts, and higher productivity.
With this, I would like to thank you for answering all the questions that have come across and taking out your time. And a request for all the attendees that please fill feedback form so that we means we'll get to understand, we'll get to know that how these sessions are helping you out with the knowledges that we share in our platform. And also please let us know what topics should we come up in our upcoming webinars. And yes, with this, there's one more question. Sorry, I'll take this. Can
Yeah,
electric
please.
attachments be mounted on regular forklifts, or is a special provision required?
Yes, they can be mounted on your standard forklifts as well. But again, there is a lot of power supply cables, actuators, everything which will come with the electric attachments. It needs to be installed at the factory, at the OEMs first, and then supplied to the end customers. So yes, they can be installed on any forklift, no problem at all.
Fantastic. So And everything would be done from your team only, Cascade team.
Yes, obviously, before supplying of electric attachments, we would be providing a separate training on it, on how to install it, what are the key points, how much voltage you should keep, what is the current needed, because it's everything related with electrical side of the truck. So
Fantastic.
that is what will be done completely before installing of any attachment at your site, at OEM's factory.
Great. Great. This is an eye opener for us because every time we see, yes, there are attachments, but there's so much to it whenever you know choose a attachment with forklift.
Absolutely.
So I think with this, I will all take a leave. And thank you once again, Chiranjeev ji, for taking out time and enlightening us. We would like to have such similar sessions on more of such topics from you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting us and for making us a part of this educational session. And as I said, there is a lot more to attachments, and more customers are getting aware about this. The more they approach us, and I, being a direct contact for end customers, I get so many questions, so many feedbacks. So it is something which the requirement is growing year on year. So I would say that in the coming years, Cascade has made the right steps to ensure that we meet the increasing demand of attachments in India. Thank you.